we are bringing you a top producer for still water fly anglers. This coloration is one of the most sought after by large rainbows and brown trout. The fly is created with a bright underbody that looks great in the water. Here is the materials to tie the fly. The fly is tied on a Tiemco 5263 size 8 hook. There is a red glass bead on the front followed by 12 turns of .020 lead wire. We are using brown 6/0 thread. The tail and hackle is Canadian brown semi-seal. The underbody is copper holographic flashaboo. The hackle is spun on small dubbing brush wire. Let's go to the bench with Brent.
Well, good day, folks. Here we are with another one of my favorites. It's the Ultimate Leech, a Canadian Brown. This is a John Romer blend. Montana Fly Company selling that now. The Arizona dubbing, you'll see that great coloration here, the Canadian Brown color. And we'll get a hook in the vise and we'll tie one of these rascals up for you. We're going to have one of these color will be also included in our Ultimate Leech pack for you online. I'll start here. I have a 5263 Tiemco hook in the vise here. I've got 12, 14 turns, 020 lead. I'm just going to create a little dam in behind the lead wire. We got a glass bead on the front of that, kind of a darker red, more of a ruby colored bead. Just a glass bead, a little bit of weight on there. Now we'll come in with some of our dubbing for the tail. We'll just take a little pinch of this off here, roll that in our fingers, tie it on, pull it back, first little tail. I do it this way with my Norvise. You may want to do it different with a standard vise. Tying 2 strands of my copper holographic flashaboo. This is a Magnum flashaboo I'm using here. Transition I did behind the lead there kind of allows that pencil to come up nice and even. Then I'll bring in some dubbing brush wire. This size small stainless steel wire. It really spins nice, strong. Tie it back over itself so it doesn't slip out. The half hitch in there. I'll bring in my little dubbing table so you can see that online. Now we'll just take this takes such a small amount of dubbing here. We just kind of pinch that off the side. We're going to get about 2.5, 3 inches maybe of dubbing here. So you see just a very minute amount of that dubbing is going to be put on here, the Canadian Brown. Start spinning that up. Get my table out of the way so we can see what we're doing here. Left a little bit of space because I'm going to wound it from the back. I like using a dubbing brush wire too. I'll just brush it so I got a nice solid, pretty heavy nylon cleaning brush here. I bought that in a hardware store years ago. It's still my favorite. So then we brush out our fibers. So I like the dubbing brush wire. I'm coming back over. This makes the body very strong. I'll come in not quite at the tail here. You see, I'll take a little more time than I do with some of the other ones. I'll take a turn there, sweeping it back. Then I'll come ahead, another turn. Okay, and then with another third, so we're getting 4 segments. And why I like the 4 segments on this fly is you'll see the holographic tinsel flashaboo underneath. That's very, I like that. In my Ultimate Series, I always like to flash underneath. Want it too bright, but I want it there to kind of bounce a little light off. I'll just tie that off. Trim that down, and we'll bring in our brush again. And you can see as I brush that forward, the segments are very visible. And then as we preen it back, it flows, it really shows up well underneath there. Now, this fly actually, that's got a little body to it. I like my leeches quite thin. But once this gets wet, or you can, if you wanted to heat it up in some hot water or whatever, I know they do that with leech flies a lot of times, and the materials will kind of Get a little more closer to the shank for you here, because I like the leeches very slender. And once you get a little, once they're wet, that, you'll still see that copper underneath. And boy, you got some great colorations here. So this brown color has put a lot of really good fish in the net over the years. So we'd like to bring that one to you. Just one of my little favorites. Well, thanks for watching. We'll catch you again real soon.
Thanks to Brent for demonstrating this fly for us today. We hope you have as much success with this one as we have. We appreciate having you join us and look forward to seeing you soon for another fly tying demo from our pro team members. Make sure to check out our website to purchase flies and other fly fishing products. You will also find fly fishing tips to make your next trip on the water a success.